How hard was it for you to stay focused and really? Because I'm sure the African parents were on you all the time, making sure that you get the right grades. But how hard was you? How hard was for you to just stay focused and grind and
Man,
make sure you go to that college?
I will be honest. My parents, well, specifically my father, he didn't want me to be a college athlete at first. So I played basketball since fifth or sixth grade. And when it got to high school, that's when, obviously basketball kicks up a lot, trying to get recruited, all that, so you have all these tournaments, have all these games, and my father's a pastor as well. And originally this is my old father. Now
Yeah.
my father has changed a lot, really. So, but back then it was like, okay, well, we have tournaments on Sundays, Dad. All right, like, no, you're not playing. Well, I got a game. I have a game in practice on Tuesdays when we have Bible study. Well, you're not playing.
Wow.
Eventually, we had this conversation, because he was like, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to go to college with this? I'm like, well, possibility. So, and I tell this story to a lot of my friends too. Like, I had to write, like an essay to my father, on college players who actually did, quote unquote, good majors to African parents. You know how like they want lawyers, doctors, engineers, or business people. So I wrote a paper on Myron Rolle, Dr. Myron Rolle. So he played college football at Florida State University. He won the Rhodes Scholarship. He went off to Oxford University. Played
Wow.
and played safety for the NFL for 2 years for Tennessee Titans, and then now he actually is a resident at Boston, Matthew Hospital, Boston Hospital, out
I
there.
saw that I saw that story, bro.
Yes. So I wrote. This was in 2013. I wrote my dad a paper about him, and this was a while ago. And I told my dad, look, if he can do it, this is Division One, a Division One player who travels almost every day for game practice or whatever, and he's able to get the Rhodes Scholarship, go off to med school, be an amazing person now. Why can't I do it? I'm not. I didn't say I want to be a doctor or anything, but eventually I got recruited to play at Penn State Harrisburg. Played basketball with them, and did well. And I graduated mechanical engineering degree, and it was hard. It was definitely hard because there's nights where you have to stay up longer than normal. You practice one night didn't end till like 12 a.m. Was up 3 a.m. still, because you got exams, you got whatever you got to do. But I believe that if you want something so bad, you're gonna get it. You have to put
Wow.
in the work, and you're gonna get it. So that's how I live by.
Bro, that is powerful, bro. And wow, as a college NCAA college basketball player plus a mechanical engineering degree, that is not something that you see a lot of people
Yeah,
doing. And basketball season is even longer than football. What was the days like when you felt like, man, should I, when all these mentors are telling you, maybe you should do this and that so you can play more game, or maybe that, like, what was those times? How hard was it for you to say, no, this is what I want to do, I'll keep this up?
there was. So we would have 6 a.m. practices, 6 a.m. workouts. We would have two-a-days. We would have trips to different schools and all that. And there was days where it was like, look, I don't even want to do this anymore. But there's people that that are always in my corner. That's going to college, you have to make sure you have the right people around you. People are going to keep you going, push you, because if you say you're going to do something, I can only hold you to the standard that you said. And people are going to hold you accountable to that. And that's what reminds me every day. My mother is a praying mother. And my mother was always there, letting me know, look, you can do this. You can get through it. You can keep going every single time. I think that's where I get my positivity from all the time. She has that motivating spirit, that's able to, continue to fight for you, and it gets hard. It gets hard when, when you're in class, you got an exam and you got a class, a 3-hour class, and you're trying to stay awake because, if you fall asleep, you miss something important, especially in engineering. But I was motivated by my mother every single day.
Bro, that is amazing, bro. And I feel like the biggest issue is believing
Yeah.
that it is possible. How do we get our younger brothers to really believe that they can play sports and be amazing, but they can also be anything else they want?
Yes. I think for us, you need to, especially if you've done it, use your life as a testament, but also be very open and transparent with them. Like, look, it's not easy. You know, we build this facade that, oh well, I did it, so you can. But what did you go through to do it? You know,
Wow.
what did you really go through? Because you can tell me that you've done it, but you didn't tell me that, okay, it's gonna be easy. You didn't tell me that it, like, I'm gonna have these struggles. I'm gonna have nights that I don't even want to do anything. That nights that my body's aching, you know, from all this workouts and everything like that. But you still have to study.
Wow.
So it's being transparent with them, but also giving them that motivation. Like, look, you know, we don't, as Africans, I believe that we're not really emotional. We're not as emotional as we should be, and it's relating with them, with our younger brothers or younger sisters, and like letting them and even being vulnerable. Like, you can do this. You know, I've had my hard times, I've had my struggles, but I continue to persevere through it all.
Definitely, 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 man. This is amazing. Going back to what you said about our parents getting us to do these measures, getting us to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, and stuff like that. So society have like sometimes push young people like us to believe, to imagine the kind of career we want to have in this world instead of the kind of legacy we want to leave, like who we want to be remembered as. Like, have you thought about your legacy, the kind of legacy that you want to have in this world, and how has that guided you, like to the journey that you're in right now?
I've thought about my legacy. One of my favorite words is indelible, leaving a mark that cannot be removed. And I I look at how, you know, my grandma lived. She lived a real simple life, and she was able to leave a legacy on me that I remember everything she's taught me, everything
Wow.
she said, and that's what I want my legacy to be like. I may not end up the richest man in the world. I may not do everything that you know the world wants me to do, but I know that if you set a goal for yourself, and I want people to know that I will succeed in everything that I've tried. You know, everything that I really want to do, I want to succeed at that. And I want to give my 100%. If I die right now, that Clinton gave everything he had to make something happen. That Clinton was reliable, he was responsible. Clinton was making sure that, you know, he would be consistent in whatever he wants. That's what I want the world to know. You know,
Wow.
I may not be famous, but I want the people who I know and care about me the most to have nothing bad to say about me, you know, if I leave.
Wow, bro. That is amazing. That is amazing. And talking about your talking about the legacy, and I didn't know that you play basketball in CAA,
Yeah.
but now your resume is even higher, because I was looking at your LinkedIn, bro, and I saw that you did all type of internships and co from ExxonMobil during your college years. You were hustling internships with ExxonMobil co-ops, with all type of companies, amazing companies. Like, how hard was it to get those? Like, what was the biggest thing you feel like was that key to getting those opportunities?
For me, I think it was more also the people you know and the connections and the network that you make. I believe that, you know, your resume can be great. You know, you could be a 4.0 student, but if you don't have any other extracurriculars on your resume, or you don't network with people, then you're not able to talk about those life experiences. So whenever you interview, because whenever you go to these career fairs and whatnot, you'll get an interview. You know, as long as you're able to be personable, network, and talk, well, at least talk with them, keep a conversation with the recruiter, you'll probably end up getting an interview. Now, when you get to that interview phase and they have all these behavioral questions or everything like that, that is where you have to be able to stand out. Because even talking about being on the basketball team, relating some of these questions, like, hey, tell me a time where you had to do a team project, and something didn't go right. You know, before I got my first internship at ExxonMobil, I didn't have any other like experience. But okay, the first thing I thought was, okay, I'm on a basketball team, right? all right, let me use one of those one of scenarios of a basketball play or something like that. Things weren't going our way, and we had to come back together. And then teamwork, all that stuff, leadership. Bring all those things together in star format or whatever format you're using for that interview, and then talk about it. You have to use the experiences that you have already to be able to show yourself out. So you can't pigeonhole yourself into, oh, well, I've never been on a team, so I don't think I have an answer to that. You have to be able to think outside the box, think quick, but also think efficiently as well. These internships, they're very important to your college career. I believe that as all student athletes should not only be just be an athlete and be a student. You have to get out of there. You have to get I took time off, and most people don't know this. I took 2.5 years off of playing basketball in college to go do these co-ops, go do these internships. So after playing my freshman year, I took time off, let my coach know. He wasn't happy at first, but come to my senior year, which was last year, he called me back up and was like, hey, Clinton, you said these are the things you said before you left the team your freshman year, and you've done everything. And now, would you like to come back? And that's the biggest thing that, I was so happy about, because like I said about my legacy, I want people to know that whatever I say I'm going to do is what I'm going to do. Eventually.
That's powerful.
Yeah. And eventually, I had that conversation with them, and we were able to come back. And, Penn State Harrisburg is an amazing school, and Coach Donald Friday, shout out to him. He's an amazing coach as well. We were able to win the NCAA. We were able to get into the NCAA March Madness second round last year before COVID happened, and we were able to win a conference championship for the first time in a long time for the school. So, that's very important to leave that legacy, but also be able to network with people, be able to say you're going to do what you're going to do.
Bro, that is powerful right there. And you just touched the biggest core value of mine. Like, when you say something, follow through.
Yep.
Do it. Because that's all you have in this world. Like, when you don't have anything else, whatever you say, your word is the only thing that you can keep, right? That's the only thing you can. And if you lose that, you are nobody.